Hey, bubbies. Give me one. Oh, that's good boy. Give me the high five. All right, how about one up here? Can you do it? Up here. So close. Up high, Suka. High five. You can do it. What a good girl. What a good couple of puppies. All right, now that I'm all covered in dog hair. All right, so if you're in the market for a new trailer or you've already bought one, you're going to want to stick around for this episode because I'm going to go over a lot of the horrendous factory wiring practices that these companies have lately. And I'm specifically talking about the cargo trailers, but even open trailers, they're going to have a lot of these same problems. But with the cargo trailers, you have the wall panels. They're great because it makes the trailer more durable. You can mount things with it. The problem is it's hiding all of the factory wiring. And I think these companies are exploiting that. So they're getting away with a rush job. It's not just a discovery problem, probably going to be with every trailer on the market today. Somebody tell me in the comments if there is a company that is doing the wiring better, because in the future I might go with that trailer instead. I can't tell you how disappointed I am with the factory wiring in this $10,000 Discovery trailer. I went with this trailer for a number of reasons, but this was a big factor for me. I wanted this escape hatch and I love it, but I know there's other companies that offer this. So if you watched episode 2, you saw a lot of the issues. Today I'm going to address those issues. So go back and watch that episode if you haven't seen it. But here's a recap of what I discovered when I was removing the wall panels in episode 2.
So first I came across this pinched wire which also nearly had a screw through it. They also use these quick splice connectors, which I don't love, but if used properly they work okay. The problem here is they weren't used properly. You can see the wires were left long for some reason. They were bent towards the sheet metal. And the result was the wire grounded on the sheet metal and I blew a trailer fuse and I lost lights on my maiden voyage home. So that was fun. So this next issue might not turn into a problem for months, maybe years down the road, but you can't stick wires through a roughly cut hole without some sort of protection, whether it be a grommet, wire loom, something. With all the vibrations when you go down the road, the insulation on the wire, it just doesn't stand a chance. It's eventually going to get cut through and you're going to end up losing your trailer lights. This one's funny. They actually added a insulation sleeve to this wire, give it a little bit more protection, but then they send it through a hole that still has nasty burrs. They just didn't even bother to clean up, so that's nice. Another common practice with these cargo trailers is they like to use electrical tape to secure the wires, which is kind of a joke. But the real problem is when they did use plastic clamps to secure the wire, they would then pull the wire super tight beyond that point, I'm assuming in an effort to reduce movement in the wires. But the result was actually, in my case, I had a wire come out of one of the quick splice connectors. These connectors simply aren't made for that kind of tension. So this next one was not in episode 2. This is a running light on top of the fender. Looking underneath, this is a mess. It's like they did nothing right here. The wires are too long. That tire is going to travel up and down. It's going to hit those wires. All of the road debris is going to get kicked up there. It's going to get inside the butt splice connectors. They didn't even bother taping over them. Nothing is secured here, and then they ran the wires through a jagged hole through the fender into the running light. Yikes. So I thought that was everything that I was going to have to fix with the factory wiring, but I was wrong. So next I decided to remove the ceiling light, the factory light. Since I'm converting it to a camper, I'm going to do something a little bit nicer than this. So I took out the light, then I contemplated simply snipping the wire off and disconnecting it in the junction box, but I like overcomplicating projects, so I decided to just remove the wire altogether, all the way back to the junction box. But luckily I did, because I found even more problems.
Yeah, this is another thing. I just don't understand why they're pulling it so tight. Call me crazy, but it looks like it's already worn through it. I was just giving them credit too on that split loom. This is the one spot that they used it. They pulled it too tight. Yeah, it's just crazy.
Alright, calm down. So from there, everything goes into the 7-way junction box. So all of your trailer lights, the trailer brakes, and the trailer plug, everything comes together in this junction box. So It's kind of important, and it looks like they kind of just threw it all in there. It's too important to rush through this job, and they did, so I had to redo it.
Much better. Now, I don't think that actually took any longer to do than what they did. It just took a little thought. They just had to care. You know, that's kind of the theme. They get close, they get the job done, except for they didn't because my trailer lights went out. I don't think it was actually in here, but you get the point.
So now that the junction box is taken care of, I can work my way back, making sure I take care of all the problems that I showed you in the first part of this segment. But first I have to finish removing this wire from the trailer. And of course my old friend Murphy decided to stop by and say hello. The trailer wiring issues, they're easy fixes. So the two main things that the factory failed to do is they didn't protect the wires and they didn't secure the wires well enough. So that's electrical tape, rubber grommets, and plastic clamps. It really wasn't that much work. It's all stuff that they should have done from the factory. All of this stuff would have been so much easier to do up front instead of retrofitting it later. It's not easy adding tape in some of these tight corners. It's not easy adding a grommet after the wire is already in place. And the reality is it probably would have taken the factory worker, I don't know, an hour at the most to do all of this stuff if they did it in the right order. But instead, it took me the better part of a day to retrofit it.
All right, off and on. Perfect. Sweet. A lot of these problems, they might not show themselves right away. It might take a few years and you're outside the warranty period. So you're out of luck. So again, I think these companies kind of have that figured out. They've been making these trailers for many, many years. And I had my trailer lights go out on the drive home, which led me to investigate almost immediately what was going on with the trailer wiring. And that led me down a very deep rabbit hole. So I think we as the consumer need to hold these companies accountable, and we need to let them know that these industry standards need to be raised significantly. So that's what I'm trying to do with this video, spread awareness of what's going on in the industry, and hopefully people can use it to negotiate a cheaper price, help them with any warranty claims, and ultimately, hopefully these companies start doing a better job, because I shouldn't have to redo all of the wiring on a brand new $10,000 trailer. I think I got it to a point where it should be fine for many years to come. I might have gone a little overkill in a couple places, but like I said, I don't want to have to dig into my camper conversion and fix it down the road. So you might find a different way to fix the problems, but at the very least, hopefully this video shows people what to look for. And then they can fix it how they want to, how they see fit. Yes, that's good. That's good. Yes, Ooks.